We are live. We are live. This will be interesting to see how this works. I promise we're live, everybody. Thanks, Matthew, for being here, buddy. See you, Anthony. I see Anthony here. Appreciate you guys being in the stream. Got a very special night.
Yeah, tastes like Buffalo Trace and Wild Turkey, and I think it does. I think it takes the best parts. And some of these barrels, right? These are single barrels. You're gonna have some different. There's some differences, and some of these, if you are a whiskey fan and you love Wild Turkey, you love Buffalo Trace, and you want to build your collection, this is a special thing.
I didn't believe the hype, right? Like I thought, it's just another thing everybody's chasing. So live on stream right here, I'll tell you right now, this bottle, it's worth every dollar of 300 whatever.
Wow.
Worth it. I've got a George T. Stagg 23 in there. This is better than.
Wow.
I've had Russell 15. This is better than. I have EH Barrel Proof. This is better than. I'm in 2025 that I would put anywhere near this is Smith Bowman Cast Strength Batch 3.
Oh, those are high accolades, sir.
Testing. 1, 2. Yep. Do I have you, Matt?
Yeah, I hear you.
We did it.
We did it. We're on.
We're on. We're live. We're here. And so, yeah, man, this was a little bit of work in progress. We're doing a collab cam tonight because we've got, and I'm going to, a very special guest.
Very.
I do that horribly, and I'm sorry, Bill, but love his content. We're so excited tonight, right, Mac?
Yeah, this is awesome. We're excited. As you could already see, I've got some bottles in front of me, and we're going to talk about some BuffTurkey tonight with, I think, the expert on the subject.
Oh, I firmly agree. I firmly agree with the expert on the subject. And I think the thing is that what really should be said is Hack and Mac worth the hype, because probably not. And so we went out and got someone that is way more hyped than us, and that's Bourbon Bill. So super excited to have him on. If you haven't seen him on YouTube, which most of you probably have, but it's at Bourbon Bill on YouTube. So you're going to check him out. He's joining us tonight to talk about BuffTurkey and all the things that, Mac tries to hide behind his mountain of BuffTurkey over there. As you can see, he had to reposition. We were working on getting the stream set up to 30 seconds ago because he has too much BuffTurkey on scene.
I know. Well, I'm excited. I know the chat. We got some people in here. Is BuffTurkey worth the hype? Hack can't answer his Discord, but I know we want to make sure, Bourbon Bill, we utilize his time, efficiently and not waste it. And you just want to jump right in here, Hack?
Yeah, let's get right to Bill. He's got a limited amount of time, so I want to get as much time as we can with Bill. So let's just get on over to Bill, and let's see if we get him in here.
Awesome. There he is.
There he is. There's a man.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome,
Bill.
Back, Bourbon Bill.
Thanks for having me.
We're excited to have you. Before we jump in here, would you want to maybe just introduce yourself briefly? Tell how long you've been drinking the bourbon and what do you like? Just kind of like a quick intro.
Sure. So if you don't know me, Bourbon Bill. I really got into it probably over COVID, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And I mean, it was like mixed drinks. Well, I've been drinking old fashions and stuff like that before that, but just really, there's nothing to do. You're stuck at home. So my brother-in-law and I were just started trying stuff neat, and we kind of, sadly, it progressed from there.
Well, a lot of us did that, right? A lot of us during COVID, we found whiskey, and we were looking for a community, and I think it was an awesome thing to be in a bourbon at that time because there was tons, kind of the rise of the whiskey tubers. But Mac and I are super late to that. We just started a month and a half ago. So before we get in, I just want to say thank you so much for doing this for some small guys that are just trying to get started, and really love your content. And man, I just want to say thank you so much for even coming on and doing this with us.
Well, thanks for having me. But before we even, look, He's got all those delicious bottles of Peerless up in the corner. Pull one of them down. That's twice as dark as any of the shit that's on your table. Look at that.
True.
And then what's that? Like 5, 6 years old?
Yeah.
Probably better too.
That's a good point. Well, let's just get into it, Bill. I mean, I heard your awesome rant, and I loved it. At that point, I think I maybe only had 2, and I kept I had okay. It's been a while, right? I started like a year ago with these, so I was an early adopter. They weren't up to the crazy price they are now. Some of these, right, are crazy. They're still expensive. But like, let's just talk about it. Like, what was your first impression? What's the first BuffTurkey you had? Yeah.
The first one I had was actually this. Well, it's this old Zach 16 year that my buddy bought. Okay, now I hadn't tried it. He bought it, and he's like, "Oh man, he's like, it was like $350."
Yeah.
Whatever, right? So he's like, wasn't worth the money. That's all he says to me, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else other than that. So he sends me a sample, and I tried, and I mean, it's right here in the glass tonight, and it's just like, it's like honestly, Eagle Rare 10's better. I mean, just there's nothing. I mean, it's like the faintest hint of cherry and like some caramel, and it doesn't smell anywhere near 16 years old. And like, I wouldn't even give you $50 for it. That's the thing, right? Like, having smelled it and tasted it, I wouldn't even give you 50 for it. Now, the old Zach label comes from Good Times, which is a ripoff distiller anyway, so it wasn't a surprise. But
okay, wait, you're hating on the Good Times? Come on,
yeah.
Bill. Look, we like some Good Times. I get what you're saying. We get the criticism. Good Times, I think, has some good things, but I hear you. They get some credit. They get some flack, but
But I'm just saying. So old Zach was terrible, and then Cam from Drums and Drams was like, "Hey, you want some good BuffTurkey? I'll send you some from River Roots." I was like, "Okay." I like what River Roots is doing.
Yeah.
So he sent me some samples, and I drank them. I don't have them, but they were 2 of his. I think it was like the Bard and the Princess or whatever. They were like a 15, 16 year, and I thought, hey, these are pretty good, right? Like, I did enjoy them. Thought they were good. They had like a lot more complexity to them, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know how much those were. Those are his picks, but I'm assuming they were like 250, 300, right?
Oh yeah, all of them are.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I wouldn't pay that for either of them. And those were like some of the best that I tried. I'm just like, this to me, 250. I'll go buy. I don't have it up here anymore, but like a Jacob's Well 211, something that's actually good. I'm not, that was $165 MSRP, and you could find it for around that.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the value, and I'm not saying there's not good ones. I had Seal Box Batch 1 was awful. One of my Patreon members sent me that, and they were like, the funny thing was, they got it by mistake.
Yeah.
They got it by mistake. Like, they ordered something else, and Seal Box sent them 2 of those instead.
So that's what I've got right here. So I'm gonna this batch 2. Yeah. So question, Bill, do you think, because this was kind of my take too, is that I thought BuffTurkey was hit or miss. I thought that maybe there's a secret proof point that if you get the proof higher, but then I thought also, hey, they're all single barrels, right? So like maybe some of them are better than others.
Well, I think like the River Roots ones I had were very good, right? Don't get me wrong. I did like those. I thought that was good stuff, but I just wasn't willing to shell out the money for them. Like, I'm not going to spend $250, $300 for them, even if I knew they were good. Someone just sent me the Elkwood Reserve. Someone sent me one of those. Yeah. And I thought that was good. I thought it was E.H. Taylor barrel proof, to be honest. Yeah. Was my guess. And like, to me, it's like, that's not old whiskey. So here I am. And I had it completely blind. I didn't know what it was. They just had like, letter D on it. And I'm like, hey, I think this is like E.H. Taylor barrel proof or like a good Stag Junior. Yeah. That's what I said. And then when I see the results, I'm like, this poor son of a bitch paid like $300 for something that's 16 years old. It tastes like it's 8. I mean, like, what are we doing here?
I think this was $225 in the store when I got it, which is like probably the best deal I've seen. This Buckner's was like 3 something. They're all around 300, right? Like, and they're going for, if you're not in a pick group and get it immediately, like, which by the way, don't sell your picks, guys. Respect your club. But like on the secondary market, it's insane. I'm seeing like 900 for something.
Oh, yeah. The River Root stuff, I think, and I don't know if it coincided with you, Bill, or not, but the River Root stuff, it hit like 1,000 on some secondary markets because people thought it, and you say something I think is really important. It's like, you talk about like, find someone you trust. You talk about YouTubers or, I'm fortunate enough to know some people that have personally made some picks, like this pick, which is the Augusta 15. I know the guy that made the pick personally and went and did it. And so I trust his palate. And actually, this one I really enjoy, this Augusta 15. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, I'm not saying there's not ones that people aren't going to like. I mean, I haven't tried them all. Like, I've tried the Old Zach Sealbox Batch 1. I've tried Elkwood Reserve.
Yep.
And then the River Roots picks. Those are the ones I've tried. And out of all those, to me, the River Roots were the best. And I kind of just said, look, like, I think I trust River Roots more just as a general NDP, right, than some of the other ones. So I just said, hey, if you don't know anybody you can trust, you can't try it before you buy it. Maybe just find a River Roots and you'll be kind of okay. And I heard a lot of the Dark Arts were really good.
Yeah.
And I also heard some of the Buckners were pretty good, but I haven't. I mean, which one's your favorite out of those 5 you got sitting up there?
Well, so this was Mac. What's your favorite?
Surprisingly, I think in the 14.
He does like asks a lot. Just so you know, I want you to know first we get through this. Like, so that one's probably going to be it. But
surprisingly, not the ass pocket. It's this 14 years Reveries, which is the younger side of BuffTurkey, but it's a lot. It's got a little more complexity, or then it might be the Buckner's pick that you have hacked, because I think proof, at least through like mine, it's the proof does a little bit for me. I get more of that cherry and oak but some of them, you're right, Bill. Like, it's just it's spending a lot of money, especially if you're not able to taste it before.
It's a gamble.
Yeah,
it's a total gamble, and I agree with you, Bill. I'm trying the seal box right now, and I get a little bit of that sweet cherry in it, but it's like dead from the palate to the back. There's really nothing happening after that.
Well, that was my problem. Like, when I tasted the Old Zach, I'm like, dude, I could go here. I could go and pick just like a gosh dang Jack Daniel's single barrel off the shelf. It's gonna be better. This is $68. Yeah, I mean, seriously. And it's like, it doesn't.
So my pre-pour tonight to get ready for this, it was the Wild Turkey 70. Have you had that one, Bill?
Yeah, I do. I don't have a bottle of it, but I like that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I felt like, like Turkey did good juice in this, but like I find it hard to believe that Turkey would have let those barrels go if they were good.
Well, first off, Wild Turkey is no stranger to screwing everybody over. So let's just. I really hate Wild Turkey just for a few reasons.
Oh no, cut it off.
One, let's talk about their Masters Keep releases. Okay. Those are bigger scams than BuffTurkey almost.
What do you? Why?
They used to be good. Some of them were good. What was that one? It was like 2 years ago. They did like a 10-year-old. I think it was like, I don't know, it wasn't a rye. It was like, I think it was a 10-year-old finished on like rum casks, right?
Yeah.
And it was finished rum casks for what? Say it with me, weeks.
Yeah,
weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks. Yeah. It's like you didn't finish that. You just like you threw it in the barrel, spun it around, dumped it out. That's like, and then they were charging like 200 whatever plus for it. It's like it was such a ripoff. Tasted terrible. Like Sagamore. Like I live about an hour and a half from Sagamore Distillery. I mean, I have no connection with them. But I'm saying, like, if you look at their ryes that are finished, they're all finished for years. It's not months, it's years. And it's like they're putting out far superior stuff for like a quarter of the price. And
Sagamore
that's my hate. I mean, don't get me wrong. Russell's 13 I like, Russell's 15 I like, but the price on some of that stuff is it's not in my value wheelhouse anymore, and I like the old stuff, but.
What did you say, Bill? When you just joined, you said I could buy what?
Oh, you could have bought a used Corolla for what you got sitting on the table there. Or something.
He probably could use. He was driving a bike around DC the other day. It almost got hit. So I think you need a car.
You could literally go buy a Costco electric scooter for less than you can buy one of those BuffTurkey bottles.
That's a great point. Well, so Bill, and this might be my last because I know. Thank you for I know we're kind of pushing time here. You've got a good point, though. Like, a lot of this is people want the fancy, new, hard-to-get thing, and the BuffTurkey's unique. It's quirky. It's expensive. You had you said some other things that you'd buy. I think you said Jack single barrel, Sagamore,
Well,
you had the Jacob's Well. What else do you? There you go.
here, Jack 12.
That's a great pour. Is that batch
What?
3, Bill? Is that one that went?
This bottle's batch 2, but I have batch 3. Batch 3 is better than 2. But
I agree.
what's the MSRP on this bottle? Say it with me.
Like
$100.
$100.
Yeah.
89, I think I got my at MSRP, something like that in California.
Batch 3 is 100, but I mean, you might
Oh,
have
okay.
less, but 100.
It's crazy.
And it's way better. I mean, here, I poured it up in this glass. I don't know if it's going to come through in the camera. This is Jack 12. Here's the old Zach. You said, do we notice a color difference?
Yeah.
This old Zach is 16-year-old buff turkey at 124 proof. Here's Jack 12 at 107.
Yeah.
You don't need this. You don't need to say anymore. The Jack 12 is significantly better.
Yeah.
It's a third of the price.
Yeah. Well,
do you think these like whiskey trends, like stuff like buff turkey and finished whiskey has become kind of hot and popular? You've been around the game long enough? Do you think it's just that like someone like you has seen it all, and like there's kind of a mission from the YouTube community to like kind of get people to understand?
No, I mean, you got to look at there's a lot of hype for it because obviously they didn't know what to do with these barrels, right? I mean, truthfully, like a lot of people comment on my videos that they said, oh, like there was some good barrels, which, I believe. But most of the people that actually pick them were like, I turned away like 30 barrels and picked one, these people said there was like many, and most of them were bad, right? So, and then the people that picked them early got the best barrels, right? Which supposedly Dark Arts was one of the first to pick some and so on, right? But David Jennings, which is Rare Bird 101, he's really the wild turkey expert, right? He even said that like they've had these barrels for years, and a lot of the stuff that like Bardstown was putting out, right, like in the Disco series, and they're saying like, oh, it's turkey. He's like, it was actually buff turkey. They, it was younger, right?
Wow!
But like, because it was funny.
Interesting.
I forget who it was. Bruce Russell was on the Mash and Drum with Jason. And he said they've never sold turkey barrels except to Pride of Anderson County, which was David Jennings. So what was he getting rid of?
The buff turkey.
They've been selling it for years, right? And it just, they've been shipping off to these NDPs who are blending it in. No one was really just selling it on its own, right? But I think these barrels got old enough that they thought they could get some more cash for them, so they dumped them, right? And the vast majority of them were terrible. And truthfully, I'm not sure why Wild Turkey didn't sell them, because half their stuff is terrible too. But it was I mean, they're why didn't they put it on? Wild Turkey Generations too. They could have sold it to you for $300 too, right? And people would have ate it up too. So, but for some reason, they felt it was so bad that they dumped it. And actually, I'm not sure that it was so bad, but it tastes like Buffalo Trace. It doesn't really taste like turkey to me. It more has like kind of the cherry notes and stuff that you get from Buffalo Trace, which I think is truly why Turkey didn't bottle and sell it on their own. It wasn't really their profile. And that was more important to them, was even if they put out bad stuff, it's got to be on profile to their what they're selling. So,
well, I had all the just so everyone knows, I have all the good barrels early. That's what all these are.
So what our viewers don't know, Bill, is that I've been worried about my friend, and I felt like if there was anybody on this earth that could help me do an intervention with his buff turkey problem, it would be you, Bill. So I appreciate you coming here and trashing it, because maybe we can stop this madness, and he doesn't have to buy any more ass pocket whiskey or whatever the hell.
If he wants to light money on fire, some people can't be saved.
That's perfect, Bill. Well, on YouTube, it's Bourbon Bill, right? Bourbon Bill. That's at Bourbon Bill. Follow him. You had an awesome Calumet 18 review, which I also love.
It's good stuff, but it's too expensive.
I love it. Well, we'd love to have you back from time to time, Bill, if you ever want to rip into some things. This has been awesome. Thanks for jumping on.
My sneak peek of my rant on Tuesday is new pricing for Russell's 13.
Oh, I saw that.
Okay, Tuesday.
And what's crazy is the Rickhouse stuff is like,
I know,
$300 MSRP.
Yeah, $350 even. I think I have some of it, depending on the years. Every year they raise the price $50, in case you didn't notice. But that's
Yeah,
But the funny part is certain. I've had maybe one of them, like not as a bottle, like a sample, and it was good. But people seem to grab it. Not every year it's like a massive hit, right? Like most people, like certain years, people really like certain ones they haven't. I think they've done 3 of them so far of the Rickhouse series, but no one said it beat Russell's 15.
no.
And as ridiculous as that was priced,
Yeah.
The Rickhouse was more. So it's like, why even buy it?
Yeah, you'll enjoy this, Bill. We had a bottle share at my house a few months ago, and I threw the old Wild Turkey 70, and it beat Russell 15 in a blind.
Yeah. Well, did you have any of the Russell's 10 LLME?
That's another one. I really wanted to ask you about that. I'm so glad you brought that up. I'd love to hear your take on that. And I actually visited the distillery in December, and I asked this question, but I'd like to hear what your thoughts are about it.
Well, they screwed up. I mean, it's old whiskey. I mean, it tastes like Russell's 15 at 90 proof, right? I mean, Now they claim it's not, but I don't know. I think it was a screw up, and it was too late for them to like unbottle it or something. It had to be something like that, because I don't think it's super common knowledge, but Russell's 15 is not barrel proof. Like Russell's 13 is barrel proof.
Right.
Russell's 15 wasn't, and I think Bruce Russell said that the majority of Russell's 15 original barrel proof barrels were like 150, 160 proof. Like that's how high they were, and they proofed them all the way down to 117 or something. I think it is. So I don't know if they whoops, we dumped a whole bucket of water in this one by accident, and they just because I mean it's like they're not going to bottle it under Wild Turkey 101, right? But I was surprised they didn't bottle it under. Well, the only reason they didn't bottle it under Russell's Reserve was because those were all single barrels and they'd already mixed it, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was a screw up in blending for Russell's 15, or perhaps blending for Russell's 13. I'm not saying it had to be 15, but it was a screw up on their part. And I think Jason asked Bruce Russell directly about it, and he wouldn't say. He's like, "Well, it's real special, and we're never going to do it again." Like he basically admitted it was a screw up.
Yeah.
And it was real old.
Yeah.
And,
I got a very simple. So we did the Rickhouse tour in December, and the tour guide spoke to us like he talks to Bruce Russell every day. Like he was telling stories about sitting down with Bruce and sitting down with Eddie and Jimmy, and like he had really personal stories. It really made the tour pretty cool to hear the history and the stories. And he said to us, I asked him, I said, hey, and there was only 8 people on the tour, so maybe he felt a little more comfortable. I don't know, but I asked him, I said, hey, what happened with that LLME? And he said, look. Can we make mistakes? Yes. Did we make a mistake? Yes. He goes, was it all Russell 15 in there? No. He goes, was some Russell 15 dumped in there? Yeah. He goes, but it still got proof down, right? So at the end of the day, so I don't know. It kind of goes with what you're saying, though, that like they made mistakes. So I don't know if I think the tour guide, if he's bullshitting or not or whatever, but
I mean, well, if you taste them side by side, it tastes exactly like Russell's 15. Except at 90 proof. Like there's almost no difference. So it was a big mistake because the average age of that particular batch is pretty close to 15 is my guess.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I think it was too late for them to recover it, or they certainly would have. They would have sold you like Russell's 15 light with a new label for 175 if they could have. They really was too late for them to. By the time it happened, is my guess.
I'm excited for the new Russell's 13, and I will be there. But you know what, Bill? I can't wait to see your rant.
Well,
no more buff turkeys, though. No more buff turkeys.
It'll feel cheap to you after buying all those buff turkeys.
I know. You got
and at least it'll taste good. Look, I like Russell's 13. It always tastes good, so at least it's got that going for it.
Yeah, they are overpriced for the most part. I'm with you, but they're tasty. But
here my rant centered around the fact that they're releasing Russell's 13 in 2025. Okay, and they charge you $50 more than they did last year, which is already 2 years ago, which is already absurd.
Yeah,
but they say, oh well, we upped the proof. It's 123
proof.
Yeah, but it doesn't damn well matter. It was barrel proof before. It don't matter if something's 123 or 114. It don't damn well matter if it's barrel proof. It only matters if you proofed it down. And number 2, can we talk about what else was released this year at 126 proof and was 14 years old? JD 14, and
Yeah.
it was $50 less. So like they're not even
Yeah.
like they already
Good point.
like they already screwed up. They already like they're already $50 more expensive than JD 14, which is going to smoke it, by the way, I'm sure. But like, come
Yeah.
on, guys. You know, they were already 150. They could have just let her sail at 150, and I wouldn't have drawn my ire.
How much of it do you think that they see what secondary markets are getting, and then they feel like, hey, we should be making that money versus somebody that's going to scoop up all the product and then sell it on Facebook?
I guess. I mean, I'm sure the secondary plays into it, but at what point are you just pricing yourself out that like your fans don't? I mean, like look, what makes the money for Wild Turkey is Wild Turkey 101 and like Rare Breed, right?
Yeah.
I mean that's where they're making their money for the year. Them selling equivalently a smaller number of barrels of 13 is not. Yeah, it makes them money, but that's not. You think they wouldn't want to piss off their core hardcore fans, but they only care about the guy buying the gallon of Wild Turkey 101 anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
That's true.
That's awesome.
Bill, I know you said you only had 30 minutes, so I don't want to keep you any longer than we said. I am eternally grateful for you doing this with just some small YouTubers are getting started, and I love honesty. And I think a lot of times in the whiskey community, you're trying to get those honest takes. You're trying to get, and also it should be fun, right? Like this whole damn thing is too serious sometimes. So, people can get butthurt over opinions, and it's just whiskey. Like it's just whiskey. Just have fun with it, right?
The only people that got mad that I called out BuffTurkey are the people that spent all kinds of money on it.
Yeah, I mean, who would have done that? Like, yeah. You know what?
He's sitting over here with like $1,300 worth of whiskey. He's like, "Gosh, this guy sucks." He's what he's talking about,
Just like furiously typing in the comments under pseudonyms.
Yeah, he's too invested.
I'm so invested and embarrassed. Invested and embarrassed. But you know what? Bourbon Bill keeps me honest. Thank you, Bourbon Bill. It's great to have you, man. And I hope we can have another rant soon on here.
Yeah. We'd love to have you back sometime, Bill, if you're willing to join us. And next time Mac has a problem with the whiskey, I'm bringing you back.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we're all small ones. We all got to start somewhere, right?
All right. Yeah.
Awesome, buddy.
Thanks, Bill.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye, Bill. That was hugely entertaining.
That was awesome, man.
Did he get through to you at all?
Not really. I mean, he is. He knows his stuff, and I felt it, and I deserved every Bourbon Bill little sting there.
Yeah.
I deserved every bit of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was awesome. But
I just want to, on the record, I just want to be honest that this whole thing, it was your idea.
I know it was, and I love it. I love Bourbon Bill. You guys, obviously, everyone already follows him. We have like no one, and it really meant a lot that he came on here.
That's so cool.
He's really hilarious. He knows his stuff, and he gets right to the point. But Hack, I want to get into the chat too, but I think also we may need to go to our next screen or something.
Well, are we going to taste him? Only because I was so intrigued by Bourbon.
Oh yeah,
Bourbon Bill.
I
I had the seal box. I didn't care for it. It was really flat on the end. It tastes it tastes like flat cherry Coke. Is what the seal box was.
I think the only thing, Hack, is that our screens are a lot smaller now that Bill left us.
Oh yeah. You want to go to you want to go back to the to the 4-way to the opening intro?
Let's do it.
Okay, I'll go back.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna look in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Dave Vogel saying in the chat. Cheers.
Oh yeah, let's catch up.
Joining us, Dave. Bourbon Bill in the chat. Thank you. Thanks again, Bourbon Bill.
Yeah, I appreciate you,
Rexy, Thomas Anderson, Magic Talking Taco. I love it. Benjamin Erickson, Moto Head. You guys, cheers. Thank you guys for joining. Anthony Peters, the man, the myth, the legend, is also in the chat. But yeah, this was awesome.
That was good. Yeah, this was awesome. And I do want to call out Dave because, Dave, I today purchased the Pursuit Double Oak from the pick that you guys made. I think that's the right Dave, right?
Shout out to 1090, yeah.
Shout out to 1090. They've been huge supporters of our channel. And it has a special code on the back. And I learned about this from the guys, the 290 crew answered me in the Patreon. and then validated it with my local pursuit rep here, a regional rep that actually lives in Houston. I've become friends with. They're single barrels, right? They have a long code, and at the end there's a couple initials, and this one has a code of SS. And it actually kind of stands for something called sweet spot. And so it's kind of like supposed to be the sweet spot in the barrels. And so it's like a super char. And as my local group here knows, the Houston Basement Billers, I'm a sucker for Pursuit Double Oak. I just like that nutty Snickers kind of vibe it's got going on. So when I get that one, I'm definitely going to crack it live on stream. And if you haven't gotten that one, I think there's still some of those picks left from Pursuit Double Oak. So go out and find, if you're not, familiar with 2290, they're on YouTube. You can get to their picks, I think, through multiple, they're on shared pour. Yeah.
And they've been also like super nice and helpful to us. And I've been on a couple picks with the team there, and I actually will be a guest on the 2290 podcast.
Well, let's rephrase this. You're not a guest. You're actually hosting. You're actually
Todd's out of town.
Todd's in Disney.
Andy invited me.
Yeah.
And I am honored. It's going to be fun. A few of us will be on there. But let's get into this a little bit, because I think like if someone clicked this and they want to know what we think, Hack, about these, and I know you've got the picks here. We don't necessarily have to go through maybe each of them.
Yeah, I've been through two so far. I've been through Sealbacks and Bluegrass while we were talking, so I've got some thoughts on those. I think the Bluegrass is much better. Than the Sealbox. I would say out of the ones you sent me, that's my favorite so far. I haven't yet tried the Reveries. I'll do that one now. Does that sound good?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too where you can taste these buff turkeys at different ages. So you got the 14-year Reveries. This is, by the way, shout out to PA Bourbon. This is a pick they did.
That's not Take?
Yeah. With Take. So
with Take. Okay.
A local group, yeah. And they grabbed a 14-year buff turkey, and they did a great job. And I mean, Jay's stuff is, as you know, I love everything Take. He's got he's doing some awesome stuff.
Right.
And I think it's cool to taste where like if you have like a 16, which I think is the Elkwood. No, maybe I don't have a 16.
No, it's the 16 I have is the old Zach. That one may stay.
Yeah.
That one may end up on secondary. After Bourbon Bill's
Bourbon Bill just went off on it. I love it. So, yeah, I mean, like at the same time, like, tasting all these, they're not. They're, from the price perspective, as someone who has bought a lot of these over the past year, like, I really like this Elkwood and the Reveries. The rest of these, actually, we need to talk about yours at the end here before we go to our next bit and talk about the proof. But
I'm going to dive in the Reveries right now. Is that okay?
Yeah, go. Let's go for it.
Yeah, it's got. Oh wow, I like the nose on it. Better. It's got the best nose of of all three that I've opened so far.
Bourbon Bill in the chat. It don't matter if it's 15 or 16 years. It all tastes like 7.
I mean, the color. He's not wrong about the color on these. He's really not. Wow, the Reveries has that deep Eagle Rare cherry vibe on it.
And he's right about the Eagle Rare.
100%. You can feel the Eagle Rare in these. I wonder, I would have liked to ask him. I don't know if, I bet it would be interesting to see what the Eagle Rare 12 is like against these. Like,
yeah.
One thing that Bill likes, and I like it too, is you've got to have that oak impact.
Yeah.
And he talks a lot in his videos on the buff turkeys how they don't have the oak impact he's looking for. And I think so far, everything I've had tonight, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. It doesn't. I think maybe once we get to your higher proof one, Hack, it gets the closest. I think yours is the one I didn't buy. Yours is the one I like the most. Other than this Reveries 14, which I think is like just a nice sweet spot of not over oaked, nice cherry, but at the same time,
Yeah, I think I'd put the Reveries above, like in order so far. I'd put the Reveries now above the Elkwood.
Yeah, me too.
And I think the last one that I have to try from you is the other Buckners.
Yeah.
Which this is just 122 proof. So as we continue to do our run through the Buff Turkey Jam. And Bill's hanging out in the chat. Like, this is like,
thanks, man.
this is
awesome.
surreal. Thank you, Bill. Bill says he hasn't had the Eagle Rare 12, but I bet it's better than the 10. And yeah, most Buff Trace doesn't carry oak well. And even Stag Senior doesn't, but that's still good. But yeah, I'm spinning for old whiskey. Yeah. It better have that. It better have that oaky.
What are you tasting right now, Hack?
I now am doing the Augusta pick you sent me.
Cool. All right, I'll do that one with you.
Sorry, I was saving the one I sent you for last because it's the highest.
Do that last.
Yeah.
What's everyone in the chat? Anyone in the chat got a Buff Turkey? Anyone going to be brave enough to talk about their Buff Turkey?
Who's going to own up to it now? Mac? Hey, Mac, you're doing it again. You're blocking yourself out from your Buff Turkey. Like,
I can't see my Buff Turkey. This is so bad.
Your mountain of Buff Turkey over there. Oh, he said Bill says he's doing house chores. No one wants to watch him mopping. I would dare to say our viewers would probably rather watch you mop than watch us stream. More than likely.
It's true. Any Bourbon Bill content's better than
what we do. No doubt. There's zero doubt that him mopping would draw more viewers than us. There's zero doubt.
Also, I love So gotcha Rexy in the chat. I just tried Max Buff Turkey, so I don't have to buy them. I see why we're buds here. All right, so what are you getting on this Buckner? This Buckner's is good, but
it's the first time the Buckners you sent me. It's the first time I got some oak impact. It's the first time. Like it's still, I cannot, now that Bill has said it, and now that I watched his videos today to try to prep up. Went back and watched went back and watched his Buff Turkey videos today just to get make sure I was comfortable coming to the stream with everything, and he's so right about the oak impact on these. Like, I can't not sense it.
Yeah, it's at the same time, it's like, you would expect that with this age.
Yeah.
Right. And at the same time, if it's not what you're looking for, it would be interesting, and this could take. Yeah.
This is the last one this is from the Suburban guy, right? Friend of ours. You had an opportunity to spend some time when we did our pick in Kentucky. Also, Bill shitting on Good Times. How about that?
I know. Well, a lot of people do that. Understand, but hey,
I'm glad my body was hiding this wall of Good Times.
They make some fun stuff. So what are you on now? Are you on yours, Hack?
I'm on mine. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the proof here, and let's talk about the proof difference.
It's got a little more color on it too.
The one you just tasted was 122 proof. Buckner's 15. This is Buckner's 15 133, right? So we're dialing up. We're in that 130s.
On this one, I get the cherry vanilla on the nose. I get vanilla for the first time. I didn't get that before on the others.
Yeah, you're right. It's cherry vanilla.
Yeah, this one's good, man. This one's good.
Yeah, immediately. Even like front, mid, palate, you're getting oh yeah.
This one feels like a Russell 13. It really does.
Yeah,
it feels like a Russell 13. It got a little bit of the nuttiness in it that you don't like. It's got a little nuttiness through the mid, and then you've got the oak at the end. So it's kind of like I don't know. It reminds me, and I like to do reminds me notes, but it reminds me if you ever been to a fair or a carnival or something where they do the roasted peanuts and you can smell the roasted peanuts?
Oh yeah,
that's what you're getting here. Is that kind of like roasted peanut through the end, and then you get a little oak on the end. It's just This is I'm sorry, and I don't, but I think it's probably the best out of the lot.
Hey, we all in our whiskey journey do different things, and some we're proud of, some we're not. I like all of these.
Yeah.
They are for the most part $100 bottles, right? I like they should be.
Yeah.
And I did chase the hype early on. I didn't think there'd be this many coming out. At the same time, they're tasty. I do want to try at some point. Maybe this is future. Like if we ever get an Eagle Rare 12, shout out Tim, send a sample. Eagle Rare 12, Eagle Rare 10, Eagle Rare store pick versus some of these Buff Turkeys.
Yeah. Bourbon Bill's, he's talking about finishing barrels with Hershey syrup. Good times. You know what good times is, Bill? This is what happens. Like, you started drinking during COVID. I started drinking, and I don't say you started drinking. You really got into whiskey during COVID. I think I started like a year before, but I was still doing more old fashions and mixed drinks, and then have kind of progressed over time. But like, I think everybody gets bored. It's like, I think good times is just something that's exactly what the name says. It's good times. You're just doing something that's different and fun, and like, don't take that one too seriously. I mean, good times is not trying to go out here and win Ascot awards. They're just doing something fun and cool and different.
Oh man, Hack! I just thought about
the
next Bourbon Bill rant.
Is
going to be the sample I send him because it's a BuffTurkey finished.
Oh, we should have brought that up. The old Zach that's finished in a BuffTurkey barrel.
Sample coming your way of a Claremont, Kentucky whiskey, a bourbon. Finished in a BuffTurkey barrel.
Bill is mopping his floor, right?
You're gonna, and he's gonna.
He said they're mopping his floor, and as soon as you said "Old Zach," he looked up and said, "What?" And then when you said "finished in BuffTurkey," he broke the mop over his knee. You just made Bourbon Bill have to go buy a new mop. 100%. That's what just happened.
It's coming. Well, Hack, let's maybe finish this BuffTurkey segment and kind of like wrap up. Like,
okay, yeah. We need to.
And also in the chat too, I know some people. Let's see, we have, I just tried Max BuffTurkey, so I don't have to buy it. Some people are like, I never bought into the BuffTurkey hype, so I never bought a bottle. Thomas said that. I think that's all understandable.
Yeah.
I think I kind of said my piece, but I'll say mine, and I want to hear yours, Hack. But I think it's like with all these are good.
Yeah,
they're good whiskey. As Bourbon Bill said, for that price, you can get better whiskey. It's true. I think the range here is not substantially different.
Yeah.
Like ranking these, yes, some are better than others. I like the difference in the 14 Reveries pick. I think it's a little bit more complex. It's got a lot of cherry, vanilla. I think the BuffTurkey, it's more of that oak impact. We get a lot more of that like cherry. Like it feels like a much more substantial, like getting over that $200 price range level with that 15-year age state in Kentucky.
Right.
Don't chase the hype. If you can taste one before you buy one, that would be great. At the same time, there's not going to be a ton of these left, I don't think. But
I mean, here's my take on it. I mean, this is the thing. Like Bourbon Bill, he's got a great following. He's built an amazing YouTube channel, and I love watching him. And I love to watch him rant. But like, I think there's a couple things. One is that I think, for me, where I'm at in my life, I don't really want to tell people how to spend their money. Yep. If someone wants to go out and buy a mountain of BuffTurkeys, unless, they can't financially afford it, then maybe they should need an intervention. But like, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do, right? But
yeah, thank you.
I think I wasn't enabling you.
Okay.
But also, I think the other thing is that I still stick to single barrels or single barrels, and I think that when you're trying any single barrel, there are always some that are going to be better than others. There's always going to be some that some people like more than others. But like, back to the thing about whiskey should be fun. It's like, truth is like, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Like, truth is if you like Eagle Rare, you probably gonna love some BuffTurkey.
Yep,
you probably are, and that's all right.
That's true. Well, hey, that was well said. And I don't know. I have not seen, and I don't know how to feel about this, Hack. I have not seen any other whiskey tuber with that spread of necessarily of BuffTurkey. I don't know if I should be proud or sad of that. Maybe the latter. But anyway, I hope that helped some people who are like trying to think of, hey, should I chase this? Should I, $300 is a lot for a BuffTurkey.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I definitely wouldn't pay, these crazy secondary prices. And that's my thing always. Like I tell people patience is key and things like that, but I think people get bored, right? And they're always looking for what's the next great hot thing, right? And I think that but also, it is whiskey, it's a collecting habit too. Like, people like to collect things. And so sometimes that's what it's about too, is about how many different versions of a certain thing can you get, or if you think about like the Weller phenomena, right? Like,
Yep.
everybody did it. Don't be ashamed that you did it, but everybody did it in their whiskey journey at some point, and they chased the rainbow. And I'm not talking about skills, right? So they try to get them all, and they line them up, and they find out that Weller single barrel's awful, and then they're like, "Damn, why did I pay for that?" Right? So
we're gonna get a Bourbon Bill level rant about Weller single barrel.
Oh, that one sends me off, Bill. Weller single barrel. It really sends me off, like it does, but that's okay.
Well, hey, I think we might have maybe put the pin in BuffTurkey.
I think
right?
we did. Like, I don't know. I think if there's a new BuffTurkey release, you don't have River Roots.
I can't keep chasing the NDPs.
Bill said River Roots is good.
I know, like the one I don't have.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you don't have River Roots.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bourbon Bill agrees with you.
Weller single trash.
Single barrel is trash. Well, hey guys, this has been fun. At least, thank you for sharing your sample. I hope you at least can have some fun with my samples.
Oh, I you know what? These will be brought to the next Houston Basement Dwellers bottle share. A little bit. Everybody try some BuffTurkey.
I love it. Awesome. Well, as we're going to get to this next segment, which we're going to crack a couple of things.
Should we go on over to the crack?
Let's go to the crack.
All right, here we go.
We had some fun stuff coming up. And yes, I totally agree. Weller Antique is the best.
Here it is. Dun, 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 dun. Before we crack this, I need to give a shout out to my guy Andrew here in Houston that was selected for the take on a lottery that he does. And I mean, lucky enough, they let everybody get two.
Two, yeah.
So that's the only way I have this bottle. And so if you're watching, Andrew, thank you so much for this. This is my first Reveries and my first take pick. So, you're kind of like...
I love it.
Popping my Reverie cherry right here.
I love it. Well, I might butcher this, but for those who don't know, the Reveries is the new line of whiskey coming from Jay West, take from his barrels, and he, you've got to just join if you're not. Everyone knows take a lot more than us. I shouldn't have to explain that. Nice cork pop. But his Raven releases, he's got batch 1, batch 2, but then he also has some single barrels Reveries. You saw the 14-year BuffTurkey. He also has some 9-year releases that he has, and then I think some people are doing picks. I know 21090 has a pick coming from the Reveries as well, which is awesome. But this is a bespoke blend, and you've got to read Jay's description of how he came up with this name and the barrels he chose. It is awesome. And it has to do with seeing a raven sort of land outside the barrel house. And his writing is...
No, I want to hear that story. So because that's actually what I was going to ask you. So how did they get the name the Raven?
Well, I don't have it pulled up, and I don't want to butcher the story.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put you on the spot. My bad.
No. But my understanding, and when I read it was, he was in the barrel house. He was doing... I mean, he's had these barrels for a long time, and has been meticulously sort of, tasting and finding sort of the blend that could be. And then I think like it was some long day of barrel tasting, and then a raven landed outside and just sat there staring at him. And then he was like, that's the one. So pretty awesome.
Kind of like spirit animal stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like that episode of Yellowstone where Casey's looking off into the field and he sees the wolf, and the wolf is in him, kind of stuff. Like, that's deep. That's deep, y'all. That's deep. Sorry. It went Texas on you for a minute. But so here's the thing about the Reveries, right? Is I don't know what the word means, the Reveries. But it's a cool name. And but it does go with something that Bill was saying too about picks and, like find someone you trust. And Jay with, take, I at some point it would be awesome to get him on, which who knows, maybe someday. But for those who don't know, it's T8KE take, and he kind of started his own rating scale that kind of became widely adopted through Reddit, right? And it's slash bourbon is his Reddit. Is that right?
Or our bourbon. Yeah,
Our bourbon, or
I don't know enough about Reddit to.
Yeah, so I think he kind of rose through the Reddit fame, and then through that, now has a subscription service where you get emails on Sundays, right?
Yeah, but also he's been in the whiskey industry for like a
Long
while.
time.
He's a bona fide. Yeah, he knows this.
So talk about someone you can trust with a pick.
Yeah.
Like he knows his stuff, right? And you had the first version of this Raven. Which got you Rex is just r/bourbon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So you really enjoyed though batch one of this, right?
I love batch one. And do you want to jump into So this is a blend of two. Looks like here we go. Indiana. So we got some MGP 9-year, 21% rye mash bill. We've got some Kentucky 10-year, 78, 10, 12. 78, 10, 12. And then we have 14-year Kentucky, which is, I think, a little bit of that BuffTurkey. So that's the blend, and it's the same blend, actually, in batch one and batch two, but both are pretty different.
Yeah, so it has a 2 9-year Indiana MGPs at 21% rye. Has a 10-year Kentucky, which is a 78, 10, 12, which that mash bill doesn't come to mind immediately, but then the 14-year, which is 11% of the total volume, it's a 75, 13, 12. You know what I do like about this? And I'll turn this to the back on the camera. I don't know, you can see that on stream or not very well, but it kind of reminds me of Disco 11 and 12 where they tell you like what blends are used in the barrel. I think that's a cool feature.
Oh yeah, I love that, like the fact he's this transparent with what's in there and as much as he can be, and then I mean sort of like Pursuit too, right? They're super transparent, which I love.
Very familiar nose. The nose smells like a lot of the BuffTurkeys we were just smelling, or my nose is already shot from all that, but there's something a little different under there. It's oh, hey, thank you for the sub, fan of one. Thank you so much. So I get on this almost like I get the that kind of cherry on the nose again, but there's something floral underneath it and a little bit earthy.
Yeah, you get a little bit more that the sort of allspice thing, right? Like I was looking at the derived mash bill. It's still, you're not really high rye here, but it has some spice to it.
That's good though. That's good.
Bourbon Bill's talking about haven't had Reveries yet. Almost scared to try one and comment on the pricing.
This is good though. This is really good. At the
same time, I think this was what was this 100 and
150, 40?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, so you can, I mean, at that level, you can certainly comment on it. I think, obviously, I'm the guy that bought a bunch of BuffTurkeys, so I can't really speak to.
Look, you need to shed the BuffTurkey shame. It's okay.
No, I am accepting and loving my BuffTurkey love here, but I'm loving this nose. I get a bit more of that caramel cherry with a bit of that baking spice here, which is, I get a lot of that traditional sort of like, I almost say Kentucky, but it's like my favorite part of MGP too, which is certainly in here.
This reminds me of my rare character batch 2, but better.
Oh man.
It's better than that. Yeah, it's got it's 124 5 proof.
Yeah.
It's 125 proof, but it drinks way under proof to me. How about you?
Yeah, it definitely drinks way under proof. And I think so in batch 1 we had a lot more of the oak impact. I think this batch 2 is a lot more of that dessert, sort of like caramel cake, carrot cake, vanilla frosting. I get a bit more of that spice. I also get like milk chocolate instead of like that dark chocolate, like where some of the stuff can go to like anise sort of stuff. I'm not there with this. This is that sweeter whiskey to me, which I really like. Like it's really really good.
It's a really good blend, like a really good blend. And a lot of times blends can go either way, where you're trying to like figure out where they live. But these, I don't know, these percentages that were put together for this, for me, it's blended perfectly. It's a really good blend. Like I'm enjoying this a ton. I really appreciate you turning me on to this. I like this a lot.
Yeah. You got some awesome barrels down there here.
And like Anthony says in the chat, he didn't think Bill would be impressed with these. He probably wouldn't, just because I don't get a ton of oak on this.
Yeah. Try batch 1. I mean, I like both of these. I think it's really interesting that it's the exact same mash bill age and percentage as batch 1, and they're so different. 1 was a lot more of that like oak impact, a lot more of that sort of, like I said, darker chocolate note to like spice. This is a lot more of that sweet caramel, like the lighter, a little bit more of that sort of light dark fruit.
Yeah. But I do think there's something to be said about oak impact that I should say is I think that what I find, the people that like oak impact are a lot of times the people that do like that punch in the mouth, because they've kind of tried a lot of different stuff, and they've gotten to a point in their whiskey journey where they're really looking for something to kind of wake them up. It's kind of like how I talk about Jack 12 and 14. It's why I like Jack 12 more than Jack 14, which probably does not make me very popular.
No, there's a lot of people that feel that.
But I feel like 14 is almost over oaked. Like it's got too much oak for me, where it's kind of got like that ashy kind of like, it goes beyond the burnt richness that you're looking for. It kind of goes to almost like a cigar, like a burnt cigar type.
So it's interesting. So Anthony Peters in the chat here, he's been on 2 picks with me. I met him through the 21090 group. We were at the Chattanooga pick together, and then he was at the Old Line pick with me. And he has the most, like, when I say best palate, I know everyone's different, but he really knows how to articulate what he likes and what he doesn't, and explore. But he's got such an amazing palate. And in the Discord of 21090, he posts these unbelievable blind descriptions, Hack.
Yeah. Oh, I lost Mac. Hold on. See if I can get him back, guys. Sorry. We're trying to new the collab cam. I somehow lost him. Let's see if I can get him back. Hopefully I can. Oh, he dropped off of... Must have lost him for just a minute. I'll see.
Jump in here from Discord, Hack?
Yeah, I'll bring it in from Discord. Just give me half a second. And we will switch it out.
Hey, Hack. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. I've got you back live. Brought you in a Discord. The collab cam took a dump.
All right. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, you got me?
Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, that's okay. The collab cam took a dump. We were trying something different with the collab cam, so sorry, guys.
Yeah. I know. It's got to happen. It's got to happen every time, Gotcha, Rexy. I got to have a camera problem. I forget what I was saying. Oh, yeah, about Anthony's awesome
palate. And his palate and making picks, yeah.
He's not a fan of Calumet 18. Like, and in the blinds, it like, it was low for him, but he knows why, and it's because it's got a real barrel char to it. And I don't want to speak for you, Anthony.
Right.
We like JD14. But like, I love the anyway, it may just say something about my palate, but like I love the Calumet 18 barrel char with that cherry, that really sweet cherry note. Both those together, perfect to me. Anyway, it's just how people's palates, they're different, right? Which is what we're talking about here, where you really dig into some of these things. What do you like about that whiskey? What do you it'll help with the things you buy.
No, and I think here's the thing though too, it's like nobody's wrong. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, you like what you like. Like, I think the seeking of validation of what you like is a little over the top in the whiskey community. Like, you need somebody to tell you it's good for you before you feel it's good. Screw that. Screw that. Screw Bourbon Bill. If you like it, you like it.
Oh, wait a second. I hope Bourbon Bill has a rant against you, Hack.
Oh, he will. This will be great.
You wear what you wish for.
I know. No, but if you like, the most important note in any whiskey is, do you like it or not?
Exactly. And we're all at different levels, right?
Yeah, of your journey and what you like. Like, this is so true of Texas whiskey, right? There are people that hate the leather impact. They don't want that at all. And then there's people that love Garrison's Brothers because it's like you are chewing on a boot, right? Like, but like, not all Garrison's is that way. There's some that's heavy leather, but like Still Austin, they're starting to do less of the leather impact because they do that slow water thing. But like, a lot of their recent stuff is killing it, absolutely killing it. So at the end of the day, find what you like and love it, and just love it, and don't if you're a lover of buff turkeys, and you or a loved one are experiencing the pain that is associated with someone that is addicted to buff turkeys, I'd like you to call 1-800-BOURBON BILL. 1-800-BOURBON BILL, and just for pennies a day, you too can get on the road to recovery from your buff turkey problem.
Okay. Actually, okay, what's happening? I deserve that. That's going to be clipped. What's happening in the chat? Major Zero joined. Thank you. Welcome, Major Zero. Great to have you on. Also, Matthew, our buddy Matthew, people who hate Texas whiskey are just wrong. And he got a response.
Oh, yeah. Bourbon Bill says Garrison Brothers has a table varnish note.
All right. As we're going in here, we're moving into, I had quite the mailbag this week, Hack.
Oh. Are we moving away from the Raven?
I think we are, but did you have anything
else?
No,
I'm good. I will tell you this. I want to let this open up a little bit more. It's got a very nice finish. I thoroughly enjoyed this pour. It's actually better than the rare characters that I've had. And that's I kind of think of what Take is doing, similar to what Pablo Mois is doing with the, like, really finding the great barrels and the blends, and like, so I see those as similar, whether I'm wrong or right, but this is really a great pour. Like, I'm going to enjoy this one a lot. I know it.
I'm glad you like it, man. Well, there was, as we're shifting over here, and Matthew's sad in the chat now, but we're shifting over. There's a big thing that happened this week.
Oh, really?
A big drop that happened from a very reputable distillery, and I was able to get this bottle.
I didn't even know about this. We didn't talk about this in show prep either. Oh, dun, dun, dun. The President's Choice. He's always got to one-up me, people. Like every time he just pulls it out and just puts it on the table.
And it's not only President's Choice. I said, what's going on with my camera here? All right.
No, I got you. Oh, you're good.
It's not only President's Choice. It's the President's Choice Rye, Hack.
Which they've never done.
No. And it's the only thing that's better is this.
What is Remus? I don't even know what that is.
I don't know if you've heard of Ross and Squibb, but I'm a fan.
Okay.
MGP, you may have heard of them, Indiana. And this bottle, I got you, Bourbon Bill, but I got you. But we're going to talk about the experimental Master Distiller Experimental Series #1 Remus Straight Bourbon Whiskey 9-year at the magical proof of 107.
Oh, I love that proof.
$65, or sorry, for, as Bourbon Bill would say, $65 hairs, $65. Which is a nice price.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got to say, man, you see how much has already been drank?
You've been working on that one.
I love this. And I'm going to mispronounce the name of this barrel. Seguin Moreau, which I think is a brandy barrel made for brand, but it's not a finished whiskey. It's not finished in a brandy barrel. It is, this company makes French barrels for brandy. And Dave Vogelsong's got my back. It's 2 bottles, and it's fantastic. And this was, do you remember when we were at Good Times?
Yeah.
And we found the Colombian oak?
Oh, I do remember it because we had it on video. Yes.
You did, maybe don't remember that. Oh, when it happened, but right around this time was one of the barrel shortages, right? So everyone's making whiskey. We needed, we've got this glut of juice. We need barrels. Well, sometimes wood doesn't, we don't have the wood. We don't have this. They just put this right in Seguin Moreau, which are toasted barrels, which the French Wine Barrel Company thanks Bourbon Bill. And I got to say, I think it's a toasty profile. It is toasty, marshmallowy. It is a nice sort of creamy oak.
What did you say the mash bill is on that again, or do you know?
I think this is the 21% rye mash bill.
You like the 36% was your favorite.
I like the high rye, but this thing is nice. Toasted low char, thanks Bourbon Bill. And I have to say, for this price, if you find this bottle, buy it. If you don't like it, a hack's going to reimburse you.
Yeah. Or what I'll do, which this is probably a good segue, is being a smaller channel like we are and just getting started. We've been fortunate to have some of our folks that we either know in real life or watch the channel, or they're in my local whiskey group. Shout out to Houston Basement Dwellers. First, it was Tim that gave us some bottles to give away. But we have 2 bottles. Count them, 2 that we're going to give away. Yeah, we're going to give away 2 bottles next week. And one of them is, and I know that these may be common in some areas, but not common at all.
Oh, man, no.
We're going to give away an E.H. Taylor small batch. How about that? And that's not all.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about this bottle, an Eagle Rare. So look, you could basically have a buff turkey for free right here.
Turkey.
So yeah, next week, tune in here, the Hack and Mac show. We're gonna give away a couple of bottles, and just to say thank you to the people that have followed us, because there's no way in the world that I thought that we'd have, much less 20 people, much less 120 that have subscribed to us and watching us and following us. And it's just insane how this thing has gone. And we just want to keep saying thank you to the people that watch us. Yeah. But also, it's not us that's giving it away. It's people that are coming to us saying, hey, we want to support you guys. And we want to give you some free bottles to give away to the people.
So
how generous is that? Unbelievable. And so awesome. Matthew, who's in the chat, big Garrison's Brothers fan, and that's not why he's giving these away, but he just wanted to do something kind for the people. So thank you, Matthew, so much. And so that's what's going to go down next week.
And there might even, I hear, be some giveaways of some Buff Turkey samples and some Calumet 18 samples, Hack.
Yeah, because I got some I don't want. I won't say where they came from, but I've got some that I don't want. I will definitely. And look, I didn't spit in them. They were poured straight into the Glen, so they're good to go. I promise.
I love it. Well, it's exciting. Maybe I'll wrap up this while you're, because I know you've got something. I guess you're going to crack next, Hack, or you got some things on the lineup.
I do.
You're gonna.
I do.
You start getting there, and I'm gonna finish this remix talk. Has anyone else had this in the chat? Have you seen it on the shelves? It's really good. It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna, blow you away whiskey of the year, but it is a sneaky little bottle that punches above its weight class and is in a nice price range, which you do not see these days. It's something a little different, and I'm a fan. I do also like the toasty low char. I mean, I really like char 4, so I don't. Anyway, I think this is just a well done whiskey. So a well done bourbon, straight out of Ross and Squibb. I think it's really cool what they're doing, and a cool little story. So cheers.
Beautiful bottle too. Like the design on that bottle, it's beautiful. The only thing it's missing is a vampire casket.
I know, right? And then also, I forgot to say this. You know, we got Diamond Dave here in the chat still. The legend. Thank you for being in the chat. It was great to connect with you after 21090. His first pick, which is that Pursuit pick, he's right there on the sticker. And I get to pick that up tomorrow, Dave. I'm picking it up tomorrow. I'm excited. All right.
Yeah, so this is my last crack for the evening. Last crack.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Last crack for the
I
evening.
think you're probably gonna pull some other things.
I don't know. Maybe. I know. Whatever. All right. I've been waiting to crack this one for a while. I talked about Still Austin earlier, and I talked about the improvements it's been making. I really want y'all to see like the color. Look at the color on this bad boy. This is a single barrel cask strength straight rye. It's 120 proof, and this is picked by the legend Nancy Fraley.
Oh yeah.
So this is Nancy's rye from the month of. This one happens to be from May. And look, one thing you have to do with Nancy's picks is you got to read the notes. You have to read the notes because that's like a ton of the experience. So warm Texas. What'd you say?
I have this one, right?
You don't have the rye. You have the bourbon. You want to have the bourbon with me?
I'll do the bourbon while you're.
Okay. This is warm Texas toast with apple butter. And for those of you that don't know, Mac, I just got to ask you. You know, you're Tennessee/DC. Do you know what Texas toast is? Is that like only Texas? Do only Texans know what Texas toast is? Texas toast.
Oh no, I know Texas. I feel like I know Texas toast because like growing up, we'd buy the like frozen Texas toast, like bread,
frozen
from Sara Lee, that we put in the.
All right,
and
Texas,
my mom would put it. Hey,
totally wrong. Like we've got my fellow Texans in the chat. Please.
Really buttery, garlicky,
Texas
thick ass.
Yeah, it's amazing. But Texas is Mrs. Baird's and cut it a little thicker, and it's like the thicker cut, and they use it for French toast a lot of time. But anyway, warm Texas toast with apple butter, salted caramel ice cream, Black Forest cake brimming with cherry filling, and that's just the nose, my friend. That's just the nose. The palate: apple cinnamon crumble cake, oatmeal raisin cookies. Italian pan forte or forte, I don't know, pan forte, not sure. Finish is blackberry, blueberry, and raspberry fruit tart, brown baking spices. Nancy, God love her.
Amazing.
All hail Nancy.
Is this? Can I ask? This is their juice, the rye, right?
Yeah.
Do you know their mash bill? Are they doing like 95.5 or, Sorry, John.
Hold on a minute. Somebody in the chat is saying half in Mac. Can't see hack. Can anybody else not see me? Anybody else? I feel like I'm being seen.
I think I can see you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Larry, if you can't see me, I'm sorry. If somebody in the chat, let me know if I'm seen and I'm visible.
I've got you up on another screen here, and I can see you.
Okay, all right. Well, Larry, you may have anti-hack devices on your YouTube, which that's understandable. Anti-hack
if you have
devices.
That plug-in, if you have that plug-in, send it to me.
Yeah, asshole. Everybody needs an anti-hack device, right? Matthew sees me. I see you. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. Rexy can see me. Okay. So when we went and we did our Still Austin pick, which I'm mailing yours tomorrow, but when we did our Still Austin pick back in February, and it just arrived here in Houston, it'll be at Liquor Zone July 12th. That's right, at July 12th.
Awesome.
They let us get into whiskey thieving some ryes. And Still Austin ryes right now, they're going next level, which tells
Yeah.
you that their bourbon in another couple years is going to be even better. I'm a still Austin fanboy, admitted. Wasn't always that way, but have really been converted over the last year or so. So let's get into this Nancy's Pick Rye. And let's see if I get exactly the same notes as Nancy.
Not that it'll impact your thoughts.
Oh my
I am-
goodness.
I do want to
that's
know though.
good.
Do you know if it's 95.5 or is it a different mash?
No,
bill?
I don't
Not-
know. I don't know their mash bills. I don't Mac. I should learn it. I don't know if they're
That's
doing a
okay.
95.5. It's all their own stuff. Like they don't
Yeah,
source anything. It's all their own. Matthew, who's in the chat, is also a huge Still Austin fan, so
Yeah.
he may
If
be
you-
able to tell us. Like I've said before, there's really zero reason for me to have a YouTube channel because I'm not knowledgeable. I just like whiskey.
No.
So
Yeah, you are. You've got a fucking killer palate. But I think it's interesting to me where it's like when people start, because you've got the classic rye, like you got the whole all rye 95.5, and then I've got this 51% rye from MGP that Evernorth did that 2 to 90 picked, and it's amazing. But anyway, I didn't know. But yeah, Hack, I want to hear your thoughts on this guy. What do you
the
getting
nose
here?
has this really, really nice like apple cinnamon strudel thing going on. Like that's what I'm getting on the nose, and then the flavor. I don't get that overpowering mint that you normally get. There's really not any mint at all. It's
You
got
get dill.
no.
Yeah.
No, I don't get any of that. This is a very bourbon forward rye. Very bourbon forward rye. Like it's the ryes that I like. Like I don't like Willet. I don't like a lot of the flavor profile I get from Willet. This doesn't drink like a rye at all. I think if I did this in a blind, I wouldn't even call this a rye. I definitely
Interesting.
get the apple cinnamon strudel thing. I get that for sure on this. But the finish is so smooth and so sweet and so nice. At 120 proof rye, drinks way under proof. The Nancy Picks, you can only get them in the distillery once a month. And this one came from May. And it's good. Man, it's good.
That's awesome. Oh wow. Okay, so Caleb says he thinks Still Austin's 100% rye mash bill, which is really cool.
But this one,
That's cool.
I can tell you, it's probably aged. It looks like it was 2021.
Yeah.
It was 2021, so it's about a 4-year rye. 4-year and change.
What and the proof? What's the proof on that?
120. Yeah, 120 proof.
So-
and this is, I don't know. It doesn't drink like a rye at all to me right now.
Well, that's awesome. I'm drinking the Still Austin May Nancy's Pick. This is the bourbon
This is the
single
bourbon.
barrel.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way, for
You're
this.
welcome.
And
You're welcome.
Houston basement dwellers, thank you. And I'm loving it. I mean,
Do you get leather impact
I-
on that one or no? I'm just curious.
there's a little leather, but man, this like is just. If you would pour this in and I think you said this, Hack. You put this in a blind. I'm thinking this is like traditional Kentucky.
Yeah.
But we're leaning like Buffalo Trace, even like the.
Yeah.
Which is but it's not boring like Buffalo Trace. It's I like that has some of that smoky, leathery notes, but it still has the sweetness, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm enjoying the pours, and I'm trying to make sure we don't stream too long. But if there's any questions in the chat or anybody wants to know anything, I do want to talk a little bit about next week because I'm really excited about it. Is that okay, Mac? Or do you have anything else you want to cover before we talk about next week?
Oh, well, I've got the big boy. I got the big boy I got to taste. But if you want to start,
yeah, let's get to it. Definitely want your thoughts on this. This is
so.
I mean,
Yeah.
and also I want to hear how you landed this sucker.
Well, this is the first time. Well, so no, it's not so. President's Choice. By the way, that's what this is. Can you see this? I feel like it's kind of blurry.
It's kind of washed out a little bit, but it's all right. It's
I'm gonna try to shove it up
there
here.
you go. That's better. Yeah, it got in focus that close. That's perfect.
This is the old Forster President's Choice Rye. And I got it off the website release. I had 6 different browsers open. Veronica had a browser open. My friends had, and was able to snag this. This is their first President's Choice Rye. I do not own a bottle of President's Choice. It's always been on my list. It's, what I've always wanted to have. And I was able to snag their first rye. Oh, man. Let's give some specs here. This is barrel number 20, so these are single barrels. This is 117 months old. This is 61.5%. Right? So we are in that place whenever I drink 1924 and I spend too much money on it and I go, man, if only there was more proof. I finally have it here. Thank you, Old Forester.
What does that clock in at? You just said it. I was reading the chat. What is that proof clock in at?
We're at like 123.
Oh, nice.
We're at 123 for this rye. And I'd cracked this over the weekend. Oh, my God. Yeah. The nose here is... I immediately get that cherry burnt marshmallow. Like, it's the Brown Foreman that I love sort of thing here. Oh, man. And this is when, this is it's incredible. It's, to me, you get. I was expecting like a bit more cherry rye up front, like rye spice. It went sweet. It went like caramel cake. Then it went like carrot cake. Sorry, I think of cake a lot, as you can tell. As I ain't a skinny boy over here.
Somebody's cake.
So you get that, you get those spices, but it just keeps going. Like mid palate, it's changing. It's still going.
Can I ask you something? Did you have a choice on the drop between the rye and the bourbon, or did you just have to grab what was available?
I grabbed what was available, but I had another. My friend had another browser up and got a bourbon too, so I have a bourbon coming, which is insane. And I know.
Do you know how many people on Earth have that bottle? And then much less how many people on Earth have both? Like,
I know. I'm not trying to be hated here. I've never. This is my first President's Choice.
No hate from me, brother. No hate. Little jealousy, but no hate. Like, as you know, like Tim, our good friend Tim, who was deep in the pores today. He may have gone to bed. I don't know, but he was kind enough to send us, a blind that was out of this world, and we both picked President's Choice as the winner for that. Okay. And that was only the second time I've ever had that. And President's Choice is just one of the best pours ever for the bourbon. I'm not, the rye, I can only imagine it's just as great.
Well, I think, we should be, which some people are starting to be critical. And since we had Bourbon Bill here at the beginning of the stream, we need that, right? We need some modern day journalism here, right? We need some real citizen journalist hack in the whiskey bourbon scene. I don't think Bourbon Bill would call himself that, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, he keeps it real.
He's out there for the people.
Yeah, keeps it real, and that's okay, right? Like no hate on Bill for keeping it real. Like, look, I
need that.
I don't mind at all. Like, and I think keeping it real, like my JD 14, like I know it's probably going to win Whiskey of the Year, and I'm probably going to disagree, and that's okay. Like, I just think there's things I've had that are just as good.
Stay tuned for that one. Let me say my one criticism, which is that I don't have the green label barrel proof rye to try this against in a blind.
Oh, because it's good, man.
It's in. Yeah, I have one. It's not here, and it's like when we buy these things, like me buying 4 buff turkeys, right? We and you spend money, you want to feel like you. Like it was worth it.
Yeah.
And if you don't blind these things, you will get caught in a loop of loving the things you think you should love.
Yeah.
And until you start blinding things, you're just never going to find like what you actually really love.
Yeah.
And you know, and so I'm all hyped up. I love President's Choice. I'm loving the rye. It's the first rye, right? Like I gave this, I think, out of 10 a 9.2 when I rated it. But hey, you know what? Like I need to blind this thing. I should put it up
You know what I
against that
love?
thing.
I love the fact that you're willing to blind your stuff that you love against, the Detling rye. That's gonna stand out. Like, come on. There's no way that coffee, like, that's gonna stand out, right?
Bourbon Bill is gonna rip me a new one with this Delling.
That's not even like. There's no way that doesn't taste like the taste profile, and that's not completely different, right? Like, Detling to me is like putting Garrison's brother in a blind, right? Like, you're not blinding those two, is what you're saying, though, right?
I'm not blind. I think they probably should be at a certain, but I think like maybe just trying them because I
just
really
a side by
love-
side, right? Yeah.
just a side by
Gotcha.
side. So has anyone? Okay, so maybe let's go back to the chat here. Welcome, Larry.
Yeah.
Old Prairie. Cheers,
So
friend.
I think one good segue you mentioned that I wanted to mention before we close the stream out,
Sorry, I'm yapping.
as you can see over on the left, if you want to follow Mac on Insta, it's at Nashville Mac, and then if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Bourbon_hack. And if you go follow me, you'll see a couple of reels that I posted recently because we had our huge bottle share Friday night, and we did some blinds, right? And so whiskey is about having fun. Like that's kind of what I want this channel to be about. It's kind of like Mac and I is like, it's what we believe in. We want everybody to have fun drinking whiskey, and for me, a lot of the fun comes from having a great community. And so here in Houston, we've got a community group called the Houston Basement Dwellers, which someday I'll get in that story. But we did some blinds, and what we like to do is kind of like do themed blinds, right? So we did a finished blind, we did a fresh crack, which means it just being opened, and then we did a rye blind. And then at the very end of the night, we did a wild turkey blind, which the wild turkey blind I've stricken from the public record. It will not be spoken about because we did it very late. It was our fourth blind of the night, and we did it after the rye blind, and I just don't believe in the results.
Okay. Well,
now you're curious, right? Yeah.
I think it's like you can't go in that door. Whatever you do, don't open that door.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna open that door.
I mean, hey, maybe if we have a Patreon someday, I'll tell you about this blind. Like in 10 years. But the finished blind, which this will hurt Bourbon Bill's heart, the first place, and this is a 8-person blind, was Good Times Maple Creme Brulee, and it finished first out of Evernorth Spirit Walker, Copper and King's Apple Brandy, Woodford Madeira, JD Single Malt, and Midwinter's Night Dram, Act 11, Scene 3.
Oh, yeah. Matthew's going to post it in the chat. Thank you, Matthew.
Asshole.
Well, wow, a finished blind. That's really... Wait, but Good Times won? And it beat it beat Spirit Walker?
It did.
That's crazy.
Spirit Walker was really good, though. I'm not going to lie to you. And the finishes, it had... Spirit Walker had peach brandy, Calvados, cherry, cognac, and honey.
Yeah.
Those are some crazy finishes.
Well, I know we're trying to, not go too long here, unless you guys have things in the chat that Hack should be pulling from his,
I will tell you this. I'll tell you the other blind, which was the fresh crack. Shinks 2024 took first place against Four Roses, Barrel Strength OESK. It was only tier 1. I think it was a total wine pick. Penelope Creme Brulee was third. Baker's 13 was fourth. Old Dominic, the 85 proof, which I don't even know why we let that in there, but it was fifth.
85, yeah.
And then this one's going to hurt the heart of the Bruzel community that I am a part of and that I do love. But Oak Bowery 1 finished last.
Mm-hmm. No comment.
So,
Um,
but that Shinx
oh, wait.
was really good.
Here. So we got in the chat here, y'all. We got the
He's outing
blind.
me. I was trying to keep it private.
Oh, the 8-year 101.
Yeah, no, this
One.
is you. Look, you cannot do a wild turkey blind after a rye blind.
No, the rye's got to be at the end, which is this is the end.
This is what happened. The rye was right before this. Pallets were burnt. People were chugging from the spit bucket. I mean, things kind of got a little out of control. There was a Discord call where somebody got crotch shots in their face. Not going to name who.
I mean, that blind isn't crazy. I don't. What are you saying? What's the problem with it? If you guys are in the chat, so the 8-year 101 is actually a really good.
Do you think it's better than Wild Turkey 70 though?
I like 70 better because I like it's a bit sweeter cherry to me, and 8-year 101 is got more of that oak impact.
Yeah.
And if you're, I mean, so.
No, I like messing with our guys because I blew that blind. I completely blew it. I picked Wild Turkey 70 first, but my own bottle that I brought, which was a distillery only pick, which was the Tyrone G, finished last, and it really hurt my heart. Like I was brokenhearted, and that's why the guys that know, they know. Like I don't really care that it got out or whatever, but yeah.
I mean, shout out to my guy Matthew. We're both Wild Turkey bros, and Bourbon Bill has his own thoughts, and I respect them, and I think it's right. Like anyway, we're gonna come back to this every time. Hack. If you have certain palate profiles you like, certain distilleries you like. Actually, at the same time, though, some of these Russell's picks are so crazy, which I think they're saying here in the chat. I've got 2 different Russell's picks. I think I told you this. They are from they're like the same month, same floor, same Rickhouse, and they are so drastically different, right? So it's not you think
I also think this about that Wild Turkey blind. It's the hardest blind. Like it should have been burst. Like they're all the same mash bill. They're all relatively close in proof. Like it is. That's a hard blind. Like a really hard blind to blind nose. But I will tell you this. Like I was getting notes in that turkey I don't normally get after having the rye. But at the same time, I was just, my heart was broken that the Tyrone G didn't do better. That's all.
Yeah. Well, hey, and I feel you, man. Tyrone, call on Tyrone this year, y'all. So that's the new hot Rickhouse, by the way. I didn't say it. Others have said it that know more than me. Tyrone's got some good stuff coming out of it this year. If you're picking out single barrels, let me get to this hack, and I think maybe we can start wrapping. I think these two whiskeys, these rye whiskeys, Old Forester President's Choice, Detling Rye, in the same year, right? A first-time release. You've got the Old Forester, you've got the Old Kentucky Classic with their first rye President's Choice, and then you've got the new guy, which is killing it, Detling, with his first rye. Anyone in the chat, have you had these? Are you hunting these? Which it's hard to do.
Are you really asking people if they've had like the hardest ryes in the world to fucking find? Like you're not doing that. You just
I'm trying to include the chat. I don't mean to be. I'm trying to include the chat.
Like I love you. I love you. But that's
thank you, Hack.
Let's keep it real for a minute. Like there's literally maybe like a few hundred people that have President's Choice at this point. Like it's the first one they've ever did. They just released it. Like, can we keep it in check just a little bit? Like,
I know.
Just a little.
Thank you, Hack. This is why we're good together. I need you in my life for this.
I need you too, buddy. I need you too.
All right, so here we go in the chat. Yeah, Tyler's saying got your XE should not be 250.
No, and I think Bourbon Bill would agree.
Oh yeah, Bourbon Bill would lose it on this, but
here's what's funny about the Detlinger Eye, right? Like, I could have bought it at Spillway and I didn't because it was $250, and now you make me kick myself in the ass for not buying it. I should have. But originally, people that first tried it, they were like, I don't think it's worth $250. But now that people have had it a while, and they spent more time with it, they really enjoy it.
Oh shit!
You're looking for your next model.
Are you trying to get me to end this here, Hack?
No.
Should I grab the Michter barrel strength?
That one would be so to me. Michter's barrel strength, like Detlinger Eye against, that doesn't seem fair. That one seems fair. While he's doing that, while he's pulling the next bottle, though, and this will help me wrap it up because I do want to try to keep our stream at a reasonable time because I feel like we
No, people want this. Do you want this in the chat? Do you want it? We're going to keep rolling. Keep drinking.
Next week, guys, will be our first ever super fan that we're going to interview, and I'm so excited about this. It's Ed, who's a friend of both of ours. He's part of that La Quinta group, but also he within the Bruzel community, he's known as Winter Wind, and he is all things ASW. And I have about 250 samples of Fiddler to go through live on stream, and he's going to tell me about all of them. But no, really, this is so like. One of our things is like whiskey should be fun, right? And so part of that is that this is one of my dumb ideas, which is like I want to bring people on that know everything about those distilleries so that they can teach us all because I'm kind of dumb about this stuff. So Ed will be here next week. Ed has been recovering. He's been in the hospital this weekend. So unless he's not, he thinks he's going to be out tomorrow. He'll be doing well.
He's doing good. I think he's good. He's doing good.
Is he doing good?
Yeah.
Good. Good. So Ed's on the mend. Glad to hear it. We're gonna have Ed here next Sunday, and he's gonna take us through a deep dive into ASW. I'm excited about that. Mac, you like some of the Fiddler stuff, I know.
Oh, I love some Fiddler stuff. Yeah. What do you guys think of that? Like, we see like obviously with like awesome channels that are much cooler than us and have a lot more people. They get actual distillers on there. Maybe one day we'll have that. But I think the super fan, the fans that have the bottles, taste the bottles, chase the bottles, go to the distillery events, I almost think that's, no offense to the distillers out there who we love and respect and we need, almost more interesting, right? Like it's different interesting.
No, I think like there's guys like for me, a guy like Ed that like he's been to that distillery multiple times. Like I have a couple of friends. Matthew's one of them. Alan's another one of them. They are super fans of Garrison Brothers. I think it'd be really cool for people to learn about Garrison Brothers from those guys that know it. And I don't know. And also I think, look, we're just two dudes doing YouTube. I'd love for people that we know and love and have built a community with, if they want to come on and talk about what they love, that's what I kind of want to do. And so we'll see how it goes. And so if there's anybody in the chat that like wants to hit us up and you feel like you are a super fan of a distillery and you'd like to come on, we'd love to have you. Like, I'd love to have you. Like, that's what we want our channel to be about, community, really, and just having fun. And we want to hear from you.
So I think Anthony, and not to call you out here, Anthony Peters, but Anthony has been he is the craft distillery guy and he knows everything. That's awesome. I would love to have like what are the ones that aren't being talked about, Anthony? What are the ones that you've been to that you're, so also, by the way, Hack, people are saying keep going. They're wanting Mac to roll with this.
Well, then then let's roll. I mean, if people want to roll, you don't deny the people what they want. That's
we have more people on the stream right now watching than we've had all night, Hack.
Look.
All right.
Do not tease me with a good time. Okay? Look, I just want to talk shit on Z-Biotics for a minute though. And just say this.
Wait, we're trying to get one person to give us a sponsorship.
Fuck
Z-Biotics is
Z-Biotics.
awesome.
Z-Biotics can go to hell. Like, I'm going to go Bourbon Bill on Z-Biotics.
Do it.
$36 for 3 fucking pills and it didn't work 3 times in a row. 3 strikes, you're out, fucking Z-Biotic. I'm going to tell you this right now. TJ says you can't drink through it. Hat can drink through it. I can drink through it because I took it as a challenge. When Z-Biotic said, hey, you're going to feel great in the morning, take it an hour before, I followed all the rules. No. Z-Biotic, you're full of shit and I see you. Z-Biotic. Okay, go ahead and do. I'm sorry, I had to do that for a minute. Go ahead and do your ride thing. I got a little hot. I got a little heated. I need something to cool off.
I love it. Grab something else here. All right, guys. This actually, what a great idea, by the way, the Michter's. So I do not have the Michter's 10 rye, which I tasted actually with Tyler, who's in the chat. I think we went to the Michter's distillery, the bar, by the way, which is awesome. So I think it would almost be better to have the Michter's 10 here, but I can't have everything. Oh man, this Michter's barrel strength rye from this year, and I know they're all single barrels, but man, they are so good. And you can get these. I found one on the shelf. I found 3 of them on the shelf for $120. Was I wrong in not buying all of them? Chat, I did not. The batch.
I like how you asked that question. Are you wrong for not spending money?
The batch 25B0397. The
Are we playing bingo? What's going on? Wait a minute.
That's the chat was asking me
which
Michter's barrel strength this is. Man, so good. Okay, here's what I'm going to say about all of these 3.
I love that bottle.
It's so good. If you find a Michter's barrel strength, I mean, just buy it. This is always going to be one that should be on like a bar. Old Forester President Choice Rye, right now, without blinding, special. I don't have anything like it. I've never tasted anything like it. It is everything I love about Old Forester dialed up. And as a bourbon lover, and I'm not a big rye guy, I'm getting into that, as you can tell. It is just unbelievable. And it's going to be hard to find. I know you shouldn't overpay. Like, get a pour, talk to me. I will share this. I would love for you to try it. Settling rye, same price point-ish, maybe more expensive at $250. It is malty, right? So I think that's the thing. It's got the chocolate. It's got the like raisin, yeah. And then the Michter's barrel strength rye, that is a powdered donut, my friends, and it is delicious. That's
fat kid whiskey. That's fat
caramel drizzle. It is. If you don't like ryes, just buy this. You'll still love it. It is unbelievable. So they're all 3 great, and they're all 3 different, right?
Can you compare the Michter's 10 barrel strength rye against like the Michter's 10 rye that's proofed down a little bit, the 10-year rye?
So the 10. Oh wait. So you've got the Michter's barrel strength, and you've got the Michter's 10-year.
10-year, yeah. Compare those 2 for me.
Well, I don't have a Michter's 10 rye.
Oh, you don't. I'll be right back.
God. Here it goes. Look, guys, it only took I hope everyone. You know what? Even your closest friends, you're always trying to one up. We want to be a supportive community. That's number one. We're not trying to one up each other, but sometimes we do because it's in our blood. God, what a little podcast.
Hey, sorry, we still streaming? We on? Check. Mic
yeah,
check.
I was talking about the importance of community and how we don't try to one up each other.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Me too.
I love it.
Okay, well, you can't compare those 2. I understand. It's all good.
All right, so Hack, I want to go to you because I've just been yapping. Let's go to the chat really quick because I actually you've got a nice little thing happening over there. Shout out to Darren for gifting me a bottle of Michter's barrel strength rye because he didn't like it. Wow. Okay, Matthew. I want to be friends with Darren. Okay, Anthony.
Darren's in the Houston Basement Dwellers, which, by the way,
Oh yeah,
you're
Darren's awesome.
we've adopted you.
I know Darren.
Yeah, we've adopted
What?
you.
Thank you for adopting me, Anthony. 2025 Michter's Rye is not so good. You have to buy if you already have a good older batch. No need to buy a new one. Okay, yeah. So I think that's true. Like,
Yeah,
just
agree
have
with
one.
Anthony. Anthony, how do you feel about the 23H? Because that's what this one is.
Yeah. So Anthony is like, remember, it's not one upping. It's enhancing the dialogue. Thank you, Anthony. That is such a great way to put it.
Enhancing the dialogue. I love it. That's so good, Anthony. I like this guy.
Okay,
I like
CJP.
Anthony a lot.
Also,
Anthony and I
CJP,
can be
welcome.
friends.
Sorry, I know I didn't see you in here earlier. Sorry, I know you've been in here. What about all 3 bottles? 2 for me and 1 for other friends.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good, generous, kind, human being. Man,
Right, what are you
I've
doing?
been lacking oak impact all night long, and this double oak Peerless Rye, my God, it's good. Peerless, no, I mean this is nothing special. This is like a shelfer. The reason I have this right now is because Total Wine up in Conroe, store opening, they were doing like their huge point bonus thing. So if you had no points with Total Wine at all, if you spent $250, you're Grand Reserve. And so I think I had 5,000 points. I had to spend 200, and so I got me and Mama Hack both to Grand Reserve because they do lotteries and stuff here. So
That's awesome.
hoping to do some content around that if they ever have like a lottery pick kind of thing where we get to go out and hang out. And what are you doing to your camera? Oh, you're zooming in on the bottles. That's much better than you, so it's good. Yeah. But
Is that worth it, Hack? Do you know?
the Grand, no, this is my first time ever being Grand Reserve.
Yeah.
Now Matthew, he's been Grand Reserve for a while. He got a Michter's 10 bourbon recently, but he had to camp out. I was standing in line at the Total Wine waiting for them to open, and there was a guy there that had 40,000 points the year before in Total Wine, and what he said is that he got a call for William LaRue Weller, which
Oh my gosh,
I know you've had a sample of and transcended into heaven, but
I did.
he got a call for a WLW off of being part of. So I don't know how common that is. Like there's people that say you can hit Grand Reserve for Total Wine and you can go like years and never get a call. And there's people that say you got 3 calls in a year. So I don't know. We'll see if it matters. One thing that's really cool, and I'm digressing, I know, but
No.
Mama Hack and I were looking, and because we're both Grand Reserve, we basically can do a tasting class once a month because you get 6 free tasting classes a year.
Yeah.
So she was looking at some wine. I was looking at some bourbon, and also I'm wanting to learn more about tequilas. So we were going to do some tequila tasting, and so she's trying to schedule us for some free tasting. I think that's a really cool thing you get with Grand Reserve. So we're going to do that,
Yeah.
and I'd love to do tasting classes. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not a Total Wine fan at all, but if they've got a grand opening and you spend a few $100s in your Grand Reserve, it's probably worth it, I think.
That Chestnut Farm slaps.
Yeah, it does. Age for 7 days. Barton juice.
All right, so Hack, what did you crack? Did you crack something?
I did. This double oak Peerless Rye, because of the buff turkey thing, and I couldn't get Bourbon Bill out of my head, I needed something with oak impact, so I went with the double oak Peerless Rye, and I got to tell you, Mac, it's fantastic. It's really, really good.
I have not had. Yeah, I haven't had that one. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's got that Peerless kind of cola thing, but it immediately goes right into some oak that turns into like this super sweet mapled kind of thing. But then the finish is so easy and smooth. There's not a ton of finish on this, but Like if I'm going to drink a rye, I want it to taste like a bourbon, and I know that not everybody's that way. So
Oh, you're
I
gonna
love
get
this one.
deep.
I love this one. And look at the color on it, Mac. Look. Look at the color on this.
Beautiful.
Just, my God. Peerless, I love Peerless. Love them.
I don't. So I have, as you could tell, as Bourbon Bill pointed out earlier, I have a lot of Peerless. Heck, you and I both, like, we were there. I got you the distillery release. You know, Matthew was there. Mama Hack was there. Anyway, we love our Peerless.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have that double oaked rye. Can you? How is it versus? Do you have the regular double oak?
I don't. No. I don't have the double oak bourbon from them. I've got 8 bottles of Peerless, and I don't have that one. I love toasted Peerless. I really, really like that a lot. And I think I like this more, like right now in this moment.
Yeah.
But I've been having some pours tonight. Not crazy, but
I'm telling you, man. Finished rye. I mean, Hack, I think you might be with me on this. Finished ryes. I mean, it's where it's at. Yeah,
it's good. It's just good. It's balanced. It's good. It's got an oak impact in the middle that carries you through. There's all these flavors that kind of hide underneath. That just it's great. It's great. This was 109, and I think it is really good. Really good. Yeah.
So I'd like to hear you. I'd like to hear both of those pours, which I'm very jealous. I don't have a Michter's 10 rye. Is that from this year or is that last year?
No, this is 23H. So
okay.
When we went and did the barrel pick in Kentucky, I was in the airport, and this was $249, which I know is $50 more than you should pay. But I looked at the label, and it was 23H. And then I have friends that are bigger Michter's fans than me, and they said that is one of the best barrels, or one of the best expressions. And so I picked it up, and yeah, it's been great.
That's awesome.
Great.
Well,
but again, it's a bourbon-friendly rye. Like I like bourbon-friendly ryes. I think that's just me. That not everybody's that way, but that's just me.
Awesome. Well, maybe while you're going to the Michter's rye, and then we should probably end this at some point. Thank you all you're still here, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to highlight this as my last pour. This is my last pour.
Yeah, me too.
And sorry, I will just kind of finalize the last thing where we had the Michter's barrel strength, we had the Detling rye, and we had the Old Forester President's Choice. You cannot go wrong. If you actually really like rye, maybe you should dig in a bit more to the rye notes from Detling or Old Forester. I think Michter's barrel strength is so good, but it is a very sweet rye, not as complex, but so drinkable, and it's so wonderful. Detling, if you like single malt, if you like those malted notes, it is the perfect. I love Detling. It's the perfect combination if you think it's too much leather and it's too much milk malted chocolate. You get the rye spice. It's great. And then Old Forester President's Choice rye. I love it. And it's MSRP, I think at 200, 225. It is awesome. 11-year Old Forester rye, President's Choice. Get it. That's my summary there. Let me get to this guy.
Barrel King. You keep pulling stuff out that I've never heard of in my life, and I feel like an idiot. Like it just, but I love it. But I love it. I love that you introduced me to things I've never heard of before.
So let me say, Whiskeyland TV. I'm gonna just plug that. Go follow Whiskeyland TV on YouTube. They make. Have you seen the ESPN 30 for 30 stuff hack?
Those. Those are great. Yeah.
It is that for whiskey.
Whiskeyland TV.
And
okay.
Whiskeyland TV, and Um, they highlighted Barrel King, and they highlighted. And I'm so sorry. Like I should have done all my research here about ADHD whiskey and Mash and Drum, and they like these big YouTubers that are killing it, and not just YouTubers, but people with amazing palates that are actually have a company of blending whiskey. Barrel King is one of them. And this is not only that, shout out to Wes Milligan. This is a fundraiser to end Alzheimer's. And so I just want to highlight that. You can find more about them. End Alz, End ALZ. It's important to me. I'm in the healthcare space. I think Alzheimer's affects, if it's not you, yourself or your family, you know someone.
Yeah.
And we gotta figure this out. So anyway,
it's one of the toughest things to watch which people you love go through that. Like I've been through it, and also have a family member that's going through it now. So that's huge dollars, huge research. Like that's like they need the money, and honestly, like, yeah, I can get behind this.
Yeah. And I think, Hack, we've talked a little bit about this. We're trying to figure out a way where maybe, like, we do something. We finally get a barrel pick one day, and then maybe a little bit of that goes.
So if we ever get to the point where we can do a barrel pick, right? All I want to do is make whatever I invested back, and I want to give everything to something. Like,
exactly.
I have a nephew that has Down syndrome, so that's something that I'm passionate about. I might like to do that. I've worked with neighborhood centers here in Houston. I was a volunteer with them for many years. Like Alzheimer's, huge thing. My wife is a cancer survivor. Like there's a ton of things that I want to do. I don't want to make any money. Like I as crazy as that sounds, I don't. Like even off the YouTube channel, like I do this because it's fun. And I like hanging out with you, and I just like doing whiskey stuff. Like I have zero desire to make money off YouTube. Anything I make, if there is a day, this is what I want to do. So thank you, Matt, for bringing that up.
Yeah, man. And so like, the only thing I might add to Hack is that he may just want to one up me on stream. But other than that, I think we're
No. When you said you didn't have this, I had to grab it. I'm sorry.
All right. So wait, before I get into this, okay, have you tasted that yet? The Mixtures Rye?
Yeah, it's God, it's so good. It's so.
I know. So I'm gonna say what this is, but then I want you to think about this while I'm talking about this barrel from Barrel King.
Are you asking me to do two things at once?
I'm wanting you to think about how those are against each other or together.
Oh, these two?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can do that.
So this is Wild Turkey, my friend. And this is cast strength Wild Turkey.
It is.
It is. So shout out Wes Milligan and Alls. I know he's at St. Jude, and this is for anyway, I'm just great whiskey, great cause, Hack.
Mac,
and I love Wild Turkey.
I gotta ask you a question though. If that's Wild Turkey, is this more Buff Turkey, or is this like what happened here?
What's crazy? This is better than those Buff Turkey bottles I spent on. So we're just gonna move to the next segment. But shout out and all.
I can hang out with you all night, my friend, because I enjoy spending time with you. You've been a great friend to me, and enjoyed really doing this together. I will tell you this: like this is the smoothest, nicest, easiest, won't offend anybody pour. It's like it's just has nothing offensive about it, and it's like caramel rich sweetness, but a little bit of rye spice behind it that makes it feel different than those other caramel forward pours. But I'm a caramel butterscotch fat whiskey kid, so I like this a lot. Yeah. This has an oak impact that starts in the middle and carries you through with a cola note, but also at the end a little bit of rye spice. These two pours make me think I like rye until I go try Willet. So, but these two are great. Like I love them both for different reasons. Recommend them both. But I think it's a good way to end the night. And look, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been in the chat with us, hanging out tonight.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you again to Bourbon Bill. The guy's got 4,000 followers on YouTube, and he responds to an email from us to come on and hang out.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. Like, there's no reason for him to do that. Like, we're just two dudes that don't like. We're just trying to do this for fun and have a good time. And I hope everyone here has a good time. I'm excited about next week with Ed, with the super fan thing. I hope you all enjoyed that.
Yeah.
If anybody here is a super fan of a distillery, hit us up either on our Instagram or you can hit us up at hackandmacshow@gmail.com.
Oh,
and
cool.
just let us know. And we'd love to have you on.
Yeah. This has been awesome. And again, like, shout out to the chat. You guys have been great. If you're a super fan of something, do it. Please let us know.
Yeah.
Thank you to Bourbon Bill. Didn't have to do that. I hope he comes back and does some, I hope it's just the things that I like, he just calls me on, Hack. Where it's like,
he shit on Buff Turkey and Wild Turkey, which are two of your favorites, and you're the guy that asked him on. Just yeah.
I did. I love it. Can I plug Tuesday?
Yeah, please.
21090, 2 the number 10 TEN, spell it out, 90 the number 90. They've got some awesome barrel picks, an awesome community.
Yeah. And they love
indie,
rock and roll, which is so cool. Like that is
it's such a cool thing.
I graduated high school in 1991. I'm not afraid to say it. I know that makes me really fucking old. I know that. But love AC/DC, love Poison, love that good old rock music. If you guys invite me on stream, I got something special for you. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you. I might embarrass you. I really might. But
Hack might be invited on stream. That's up to Andy. It's up to Andy. So
you probably shouldn't. Just tell him not to, because it's going to embarrass you. And I just got something special planned.
Well, this has been awesome. I also, this is what it's about. All of us chatting. Thank you guys so much for joining. Not just, the guys, the ladies. Thank you. And then Hack. It's been great, man.
Yeah, it's been good. Hey, whiskey should be fun, y'all. Have fun with whiskey. Tune in to us next Sunday night, 8 p.m. We'll be here with Ed. Love you guys. Have a good rest of your night, and have a good next week. And we'll see y'all.
Here's y'all.